It's 18 years since Iraq invaded Kuwait. Up until then, the two countries had been strong trading partners, and it looks like the relationship is on the mend. Kuwait's Prime Minister is planning the country's highest level official visit to Iraq since the invasion. So what does it mean for business? From Kuwait, Malcolm Baldwick reports.
The sight of Iraqi tanks moving into Kuwait in 1990 shook the world. And it has taken time for the two countries to rebuild relations after Saddam Hussein's invasion.
Our commercial movement between us and into Iraq.
At the time, this man, Ali al-Mumin, was a brigadier in the Kuwaiti army. Earlier this year, he was appointed as the country's first ambassador to Iraq in nearly 2 decades. And one of his roles will be to develop business ties between the two countries.
I've been, talking to some Iraqi businessmen recently, and they have big projects, and they're looking for Kuwaiti partners, and I think they found already some. And I think the Kuwaitis are very ready, and when we go in a big way.
This is New Najaf City. It may look like one of the latest glitzy real estate projects to come out of Dubai, but it's not. It's in Iraq. New Najaf City, just south of Baghdad, is part of a mega project from the Kuwaiti investment company Al Aqila. As well as building a new city in Najaf, which is a pilgrim site for Muslims, it has just built a new airport there and even has a new airline in the pipeline.
The most important thing is that Iraq should start with the investors rather than the contractors now, because most of the people working in Iraq was contracting for whether it is government or the other parties. And now it is the time that the investors, they walk in as a real investment in Iraq. And we do believe that there is a huge opportunity over there.
With a population of around 29 million people, it's also a big consumer market for Kuwaiti companies such as Arabian Beverage. This factory is running 24 hours a day, and about 40% of its production is going to Iraq. But despite the potential, security is still a major concern for companies here.
The main problem is the security situation. Kuwaiti businesses tried to establish some presence in Baghdad and Basra and other places in the north of Iraq, but unfortunately the security situation did not help. Some of those employees hired by some of these Kuwaiti companies were kidnapped or were taken, and the kidnappers asked for ransom to release them. So the Kuwaiti investor and the Kuwaiti business community thought that it's a high risk, that it will be costly.
The other challenges for Kuwaiti companies is the infrastructure in Iraq and also building up a reliable network of suppliers there. This is the border between Kuwait and Iraq. Basra is 30 kilometres that way, and Kuwait City is 100 kilometres over there. It's here that many Kuwaiti companies come to distribute their goods to a local partner. Arabian Beverage has 2 Iraqi partners, each of which has extended a credit line of around $5 million. That's to help them develop a distribution network on the other side of the border. It's hoped that this relationship, which is built on mutual trust, will pay dividends when the security situation and the infrastructure improves in Iraq. Business is often done at trade shows like this one in Kuwait City last month. It's a chance for Kuwaiti companies to sell their products and strike deals with their Iraqi neighbours. But the trade show is quiet. That's because many Iraqi business people who wanted to come here have not been able to get visas.
I think what needs to happen is, and really could happen in a matter of weeks, is to really look at what's needed to facilitate the development of the private sector in Iraq. And these are very simple measures I think the public sector could take here in terms of opening up visit permits and work permits for Iraqi nationals. 2, allowing Iraqi nationals to have the ability to set up companies that they own 100%. 3, providing them banking facilities and allowing them to establish bank accounts here in Kuwait.
Agility is one of the largest logistics companies in the region, and it's distributing more and more of its products from warehouses in Kuwait to Iraq. Doing business with Iraq may be a risk, but more and more companies here feel it's a risk worth taking.
Malcolm Baldwick reporting from Kuwait there. Coming up after the break, Abu Dhabi brings Hollywood glamour to the Emirates, but can its billion-dollar film fund help it break into the A-list of movie making?